So, we are live.
We are live.
So,
I was hoping that would happen. I'm like gratuitous crotch shots
I
here.
have to take this first out.
I don't think that's gonna help.
Yeah, it's going to help because now.
Look at this. You
Oh.
like that? Yeah. I'm kind of moseying on.
Yeah, perfect like this.
Yeah, gratuitous crotch shot. So you like my shirt?
That shirt is really nice.
You guys see this? I don't know if you can see this, but Bart Miller, Onewheel USA. This shirt has been in waiting for me for years.
Yeah, if you see now the name change, now we are not anymore No Limits to Ride Electric. We are No Limits to Ride, and this was one.
This
of the
is nostalgic.
Yeah, this was one of the last ones. I think it's better for us to change the name because it was like this. It's not because of the electric, it's because of you can finish your sentence. If you are a one-wheeler, you can put No Limits to Ride one wheel.
No limit to ride.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yes, it's simple. And then you finish your sentence. Now it's going to come T-shirts that for everybody to know is the price of the sales. We don't make no money. And it's going to be with a one wheel on the back. And I'm going to show you today. Later on, I show you because it's a very special one. But now, not talking about that. So you came here to this country, far away. You come from USA. You come to visit us. You come to support. We are starting now to grow in Europe, and we are in this beautiful place.
Oh my God! We should have turned around so the camera. But I mean, this is a gorgeous view as well.
Later on, I'm going to put the image. The important thing is like this, my friend, having you here is a bless for all of us. Because,
I appreciate that.
Is a big support for our community, and I think we need persons like you, Zoe, your wife, who inspire lots of persons. I think for me. I speak for me and I speak for the community. I know you are a symbol for our one-wheel community.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
And you know what you are talking about. That's something yesterday, if you don't see, later on you're going to see, he talked and he explained to the people who didn't know how to ride. Tell us a little more what was yesterday, what you speak with for everybody.
All right, I normally do a crash clinic at a lot of the events that I go to for obvious reasons. One of the things that was really interesting today is the 5-year anniversary of my crash heard around the world today, which is crazy. Because it's also National Brandon Ogden Day that I started last year. Brandon Ogden is with the Float Life, and he is the one who sends out all the packages. And that man gets up. Look, he's 5 hours behind us, and when I wake up, I normally text Brandon, and he is up. So I'm telling you, I live in Florida. He lives in California. So we're 5 hours difference, and he is up when I wake up in Florida, sending y'all's packages out. So today, National Brandon Ogden Day, give him a shout, give him some love. But let's get back on topic. What we were talking about yesterday was how to race and how to crash. So what I gave them was a little synopsis of how to create a better scenario for themselves to make it successfully down the mountain behind us. Unfortunately, what I did not know was that this is basically a paved course from the top to almost the bottom, and it was so fast. So I was the first rider down.
I was with you.
You were with me, and I just started out nice and easy, built up speed, and then, rode a controlled race down at about 75 to 80% of where I felt comfortable. And I knew that crashing would definitely put me far, far out of my way. So I rode a comfortable race and ended up, I think, third or fourth in the points. But I was on a bone stock GT, which I'm so thankful for Ride and Glide to have allowed me to ride. Definitely gave me an advantage there. People yesterday were very surprised to find out that lower tire pressure yields a better ride. They are riding at 25, between 20 and 25 psi off roads. So teaching them about tire pressure I was shocked that they didn't really know about this. But being that this is the very first international one-wheel event that we're at, it was a pleasure for me to be able to give these people advice on how to race. Now, after the fact, I did tell them you might want to bring your tire pressure back up because of how hard packed this was. And that really did add to an advantage. This is a totally unusual thing. We've never had a race like this in the United States. Not one that I've seen anyway. It would be almost the equivalent of hauling ass down the road in San Francisco down the big long hills. That's essentially what we just did for 1.2 miles.
But the problem is like this. This road was finished last month.
Yeah.
Normally it was to be off-road.
Right. So they did pave this for what the ambulances and other things.
Yeah.
They went ahead and paved this, and the race organizers did not know that.
That was a surprise.
It was a super big surprise. So
and for most of the riders, it was a big surprise.
It was
for me, it
was a huge surprise. I think I hit somewhere around between 23 to 25 miles an hour coming down the hill.
So I was behind you. You was close to 55 kilometers per hour. Is the same like in miles. You was very fast. I was impressed.
Yeah, I was riding definitely as controlled as I possibly could because not only was it paved, but there was loose rocks and debris on top of that. So, and once you got down here closer to the bottom, it became very steep and very rocky.
Yeah.
They obviously didn't keep paving all the way down to that. So by the time you got down about 1 mile, it got really loose. And the problem was that a lot of the riders, they were really fatigued. They were not used to having to run at this speed, at this level, with the adrenaline going like it was.
Most of the riders here is off-road riders.
Yeah, so this was basically a race on road, downhill, and the Vesks obviously just ate it up. They were able to control. They had no pushback. They were hitting, from what I understand, 35 to 40. Is that correct?
My friend, I was behind Adrian. He was the guy who's in first place.
Yeah.
And he was riding a Vesk. And I was 58, 62 kilometers per hour. That is around 38 miles.
Yeah, so it's very difficult to compete on a one wheel against that. Which I was interested to find out that here in Europe they run both classes together, one wheels and open source.
I don't think that. I don't agree.
I don't either because they're two completely different animals. I don't have anything against Vesks.
No.
I got a chance to ride a lot of them. Matter of fact, Vids is probably one of the best I've ever ridden. If you are anywhere near him, jump on his board because, fun fact, he actually built and tuned his own Vesk one wheel.
And he's going to be in America with you in a fest, Float
Life Fest.
Float Life Fest 6 is going to be there.
So if you get a chance to see him, go find him because here's what he did. He built himself a Vesk, a one wheel basically, and he had never ridden a one wheel before this. So he had no preconceived notions about how a one wheel should ride. So what he did was he made his own tune with what he felt it should be and by watching YouTube videos. Matter of fact, he didn't even ride a real one wheel for 2 years after he built this. So to say the least, his tune is absolutely phenomenal. Have you ridden it?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
I was with him last year in Portugal in the event from Portugal. But the other thing, what you don't know about him is batteries. You can put it apart and you can travel in plane.
That's right. You can separate it, put them on a plane, and go. Another thing that he did was he split the packs so that one pack was in the rear and one pack was in the front. And what you got is like about a 45 to 55 front to rear. So it slowly falls back to the tail. You have no idea how good that is as far as transitioning on a one wheel. It definitely led to how good it felt.
Yeah.
So I think we're definitely getting into a time where we're about to see a big transition in Onewheel racing, riding, as well as in Vesc. And the thing is, Onewheel can only come up with so many things. They've got, inventors and things like that. They obviously have, Kyle on board, who does the majority of it. But the Vesc group, they have tens of thousands of people that could get involved ultimately and are brilliant. And so Vesc is moving at the speed of computers, cell phones. You're getting new, improved stuff daily, which we're just not seeing that from the Onewheel camp. But I have a feeling that they're going to be putting out something pretty impressive.
Do you think now talking, not putting nothing against? I don't like to put Future Emotion in a bad position.
Nope.
Do you think Future Emotion is something that they have to start to maybe to go to the 84 volts like the?
No, I don't think that's necessary. I think 75 volts is plenty. I think a fast and high discharge battery pack may be more in the works, a little bit stronger ability to put more of the power from 75 volts to the motor would be more advantageous, because we don't really need more speed. We would like a little bit more torque.
Yes.
So to be able to have that torque available, not only when you jumped from the XR to the GT, it was immediately noticeable. And I wrecked so much less on the GT than I ever did on the XR. It's just, it was that good.
Yeah.
So
I see your video talking about that.
So the GT's come leaps and bounds from where it's at. Now this Rider Summit, you and I had a conversation on the way back to my place last night when you were kindly dropping us off. And you did mention something that I had not thought about, and I'm sure that the guys at Future Motion have not thought about, as well as anybody at the Rider Summit.
Yeah.
And you said, what did you say about how when you have to send in your board for repairs?
It's like this. What is the complaint here in Europe, guys? It's like this. Future Emotion, what the people say in Europe is like this. They don't look about us. We have to wait. Like if there is a small problem, like yesterday we was talking about Fabio, that the guy sent something. It was a small problem to change the tire, and you have to send it to USA just because of the tire. And we have to wait 2 months to receive it back again.
And so that's 2 months off your warranty.
Yes. And then later on was a problem with this a sensor, and the guy, they tell him he cannot ride anymore, and you have to wait for the new sensor.
Yeah, who did that though?
And then it was another problem, and you have to send it again, and it was 4 months that the guy was without board, and 1 month that he was waiting for the fender.
Okay, so what we're looking at is you have a year's worth of
1 year.
Give her 1 year of warranty, and now 4 months of that 1 year.
That was 5 months.
5 months of that 1 year have been utilized.
And it's annoying.
The board back.
Do you understand, my friend?
There might possibly be something that we could do about that for you, especially with the Rider Summit being that just happened. It was just passed. Maybe we will see some new things resulting from this Rider Summit to address that, which would be interesting. I'm very excited.
I think it's like this. For us to understand how, like I told you yesterday in the car, I know that Future Emotion is there. It do lots of stuff for us. Everybody can say whatever they want from Future Emotion. Future Emotion created something for us to have fun.
Yeah.
And they think about the safety. Sometimes it's not the vultures that they put it, but like in Europe, we don't have the service, and we have to wait so much time. That's why so many people is changing for Vesc. Because they say they are tired to wait for something.
And that's understandable. The thing is the way I look at it is, without Kyle Dorkson, we wouldn't have the one. It's the slight off chance that somebody thought it would be a good idea to put a shifter cart tire in the middle of a board and turn it into this phenomenon that it is now. It is an exceptional mind. Just an absolute exceptional mind.
Sit here. Come.
Yeah. You want to come in here? Zoe's bringing it on in here. A lot of you guys know who Zoe is. Say hi.
Hi.
And how did you do racing?
Good.
And what was your thoughts on the course?
It was scary, but it was pretty fun.
You was not. I was scary because I was behind her, filming her, and she was in the limit of the brakes here, and I was thinking, oh, it's going to shut.
Yeah.
And she was.
She's a ripper.
Yeah, and I was like, my God, she's good, and she was one of the ones like I go from the top to the end because it was so amazing, and I think we need to support.
She takes off like a rocket.
Yeah, but can I tell something? She is now is grow more. The first time I make the interview, in the first time she was a little girl. She was shy. Now she understands a little more. She's a reference for all of us.
You know, she's been riding for 5 years.
Yeah, I know.
Dude, that's half her life.
But you have to think like this. She's doing an amazing job to bring kids and show to that the kids. Oh, the Onewheel is fantastic. Look.
Oh yeah.
And she's like the mirror for us to show to our kids. I have kids. I have 3 kids. My kids start about 2 weeks riding a Onewheel.
I saw your son riding.
Yeah, and I was like
Impressive.
I was like, wow, he's so good, and now he's loving, and he wants to start because of the passport. Because UK is not
Sure.
anymore in Europe. We have to wait so much months now for the passport. He wants to start to race, but he see videos from your doctor, he see videos from other kids, and that is the thing we need more.
You know what? One of the things that I love about Onewheels and the community is this is one of the only things where I've seen grown-ups, children, I mean, all the way from 70s all the way down to little kids. I've seen 3-year-olds riding on these things. It's bringing families together. It's getting them the opportunity to do something together that is universally enjoyed by the whole family. What else can you do? I mean, let's say you take your kid to Disney World. The parents hate that. They hate it. I mean, and even the kids are like, this is hot. I feel like I'm standing on the surface of the sun. We're out here. I'm out here in Scotland with my daughter and with my wife racing Onewheels. My son is here. My father and my aunt are here. My son's fiance is here. It's a family style atmosphere, and we are having a great time, and we're involving each other in the same sport that we all love.
Yeah.
What else can you do that with?
I'm going to tell you, like me, I'm a guy who goes to lots of events. And sometimes when the people ask me from AUCs, from skateboards, mountain boards, they say, why the Onewheel? Why do you go to so many events? Because
we're a cult.
Yeah. I say, guys, you cannot. I say to all of them, forget about I don't have nothing against you, what you guys doing, but the magic of the Onewheel family is so nice and so beautiful and so united. I didn't find it in the other one.
No, and it's like I say, you have no idea what you're getting for that $2,000 you're spending.
Yeah.
Could be a little bit more over here, but give or take, let's just say $200 to $2,500, even if it's $3,000. You have no idea what's behind that $3,000 that you spent. You have an entire community that will accept and love you immediately with no questions asked. You have family. You have these events. You get to travel. I mean, I've traveled more. It gets you out of the house, by God.
Yeah.
I mean, what else does that? These people say, oh, well, we got to go to the gym. We're going to go hit the trail instead. I'm going to go to my yoga class. Well, we're going to go be putting yoga poses that your yoga instructor can't even muster. So we're having fun out here. We're doing things in nature. And if you could, you're going to be able to see all this on in the backside, but what's in front of us, I've never seen green mountains before.
This is my first time here, my friend.
Mine
I was
too.
impressed.
Look at this. Everything is so green. Kermit the Frog said it ain't easy being green.
Later on, I'll show you in the
Bullshit.
video, guys, for you to see how beautiful is this. And yesterday it was raining, was good weather. This morning it was raining. In the afternoon it's like this.
Look, it started raining when I took my my first lap down, and I only did one lap. But it was raining when we started off. By the time I'd gotten halfway down, it was sunny and it was hot. So it's raining at the top. Halfway down the trail, it's not. You get to the bottom, it's cool down at the bottom. It's unbelievable. And here we are just having one of the best, nice, most beautiful days. And they say don't talk about the sun, but I just can't help it.
So first of all, I just want to say, this is not sponsor, but I have to talk about these guys because they sponsor this event. The guys,
yeah.
Orny Ghost.
Horny Goat.
I never was the first time I see him, but is companies like this we need to support our events.
Yep.
And I want to say thank you so much. I'm not winning nothing with this.
I've had about 6 of those.
I just telling thank you so much to help us to organize this big event. I know that is lots of costs for this team is doing this job. And the second thing, I think you help a lot coming here because lots of persons came to see you.
I came to see a lot of people.
Yeah, my friend, but that is
you're one of them.
that you know that for me it was like a bless when I know that you come, and I was seeing a friend, and
You should have seen his face when I got out of the van. His face, he was talking with people, and he kind of looked over, and his whole face just lit up. His eyes got real big, and I didn't realize how big Nelson was, man. He came running at me, all 6 foot something of him, and I was like, ah!
There is something in life, my friend. Or you love it, or you have to show. I love the way you are as a family. I'm a guy who love my family, and I see the 3 of you, how you do the same sport. You enjoy all the 3 together. I watch all your videos. I watch when Zoe received the GT, and she came from the school, and she was like, wow.
Yeah.
And that is so beautiful to see how united, how simple you guys are, and how you go to the events and you change. That is like everybody's like in a funeral, and then you come and you just make everybody happy.
I like to liven it up a little bit. You know that. I'm not quiet per se.
Yeah,
You know what? I've heard from multiple people. They're like, we can hear you and know it's you before we ever see you. We hear you are so loud that we hear and we're like, Bart's here.
Yeah, but you bring so much. Now you have this. Not you create this beautiful name, this beautiful community that you are now doing with these young guys, riders. Tell us a little more. How you came to this idea, to this name, and to create all this community of the what's the name?
Def Punks.
Def Punks.
The Def Punks crew.
First, why the name?
Def Punks. Okay, and this is, people don't really know what it means, but the word deft, D-E-F-T, means highly skilled, the best of. Basically, it is masterful, skilled in their footwork, dexterous. And then punks, spelled the way I found it, is a tightly knit crew.
Okay.
So, highly skilled, tightly knit crew is what the Def Punks stands for and means. And I think we have succeeded in building a team that is exactly that.
Do you think it's a team or is it a family?
It's a family. I mean, we go to all the events together. We try and support each other as much as we can.
I'm seeing when you're making lives, my friend.
Oh,
you try to control yourself.
Oh, my God.
And when it's your team or something like that, you are like, okay.
I can't help it.
Okay, that is
it's like a dad. I mean, it's like them, when Noah Mead or, any of these guys, they win. Luke Austin, just any of them are, even the ones that don't win. I come up and they feel a little defeated, but you give them that love and they don't hold on to that. They rush over to their teammates. They give them love, affection. We just try and be better to the community. We try and bring our community up instead of tearing it down. That's basically what we're trying to do, and our main goal is to support the community.
But putting this way, I look to your team. I look as a family. First of all, I know that it's a team. You guys have one of the best riders lots of good riders inside.
Yeah.
And is the people coming automatic to you guys and say, I want to be?
Yeah,
with
we've
the
got a
Defcon?"
lot of people
Uh-huh.
that do come up, and we've said okay to some of them, but we really want them to showcase their talents and really show what they have to offer. Not only do you have to be a highly skilled rider to be a Def Punks, but you have to be a good person. You have to have that you got to exude that personality that raises everybody else around you up. I don't want anybody on the team that brings it down and is constantly negative. That we've got plenty of that. Just get on, One Wheel Riders or One Wheel Owners Group. Ask one question, you'll find out exactly what I mean. I started this whole thing. Noah Mead and I, we had a conversation in 2021 about starting a team because I had said I'm getting a little old. I needed to retire from this racing
Yeah,
bit.
I see the interview.
Yeah, really we brought it together, and then Jason Baker came on board and really helped to solidify that by bringing something that I'm not good at. So I do understand my limitations as far as it goes. That's why being a coach, it's right up my alley. I love helping people, and I really have a lot of good information that even pro riders, adult pro riders, might not know, or they might not have thought of. So, and believe it or not, they actually listen to me. It's crazy.
You see, yesterday,
My kids
everybody,
don't.
how many people was there to listen to you? It was raining, huh? Guys, was raining a lot.
It was hard. It was raining hard.
For you, my friend, it was. And seeing everybody listen to you and making questions that you can help
I was
them.
surprised at all the questions.
Yeah, and I think the people was very interesting to learn a little more because you are an experienced rider, and that's why I love this community. We are always helping each other. It's not
Bringing each other up.
yeah,
Making us better riders.
Other communities is very difficult. Everybody's
It's different.
Yeah,
You don't want them to be a better
Yeah,
rider.
yeah.
You don't want them to compete against you.
Yeah.
You don't want to give them the knowledge that you have gleaned and gained off years and years and years of learning how to ride one wheels or learning how to race cars or what have you. But this community is totally different. It's exactly the opposite. Everybody at a normal race, I raced cars, motocross before this. Everybody was super secretive. Nobody wanted to give anybody the leg up by letting them know what they run, what they did to their cars, to their bikes, what have you. When you go to a one-wheel event, what's the first thing people want you to do? Ride their boards.
Yeah.
Ride my
Try
board.
it.
Hey, try my board.
Yeah, I was impressed seeing you yesterday riding the Vesks, and I think that is so nice to see you checking out and enjoying the different types of boards. And
Buddy, I'm everything one wheel.
yeah, but you passing to me, Nelson. Oh, that is crazy. Oh, that is. And you're going to take that with you. And you're going to show to the guys in USA and
That's
for
right.
yourself and for your doctor, for your friends, and say, okay, I think it's unfair a Vesk against a GT, and it's a very different thing.
It's a different animal.
Yeah, I think it's unfair. Sorry.
Well, we have highly skilled riders in the U.S. that I think if we had a Bodie Harrison or a Kyle Hansen out here, or a Noah Mead or a Noah Build or any of the fastest riders, Jeff,
Come here.
Luke Austin, any of these guys, Jeff Adair, I think that these guys on the Vests would have had for sure a run for their money. I rode a very controlled race and still probably managed to pull out third, I think, on a bone stock GT against a multitude of Vesks and other built boards on a bone stock GT. Now, I've slowed down considerably over the years. We're talking about riders that would have come out here and pulled sub 4-minute times. They would have hit that jump far more aggressively than I did because I'm almost 50 years old.
she did the 2 jumps perfect.
She did the 2 jumps. You did you? I think
yeah.
Christy did too. Christy did a great job.
I was not following Chris. I was following Zoe, but she do the 2 jumps
Yeah,
perfect.
Zoe, I know, of course, she's going to do great on those drops. The only reason I was able to even do them is that during practice this one time this morning, I followed you guys, and Zoe did so well, and I'm like, she did it? I did it. I could do it. I really enjoyed the course. It was perhaps maybe not what I anticipated, but it truly was
I don't think it was what
much
anybody-
more
most of the-
challenging than
if you see,
anticipated.
If you see most of the people when they go up and they see, oh,
They come down, they're like,
They-
that was not what I thought it
that-
was.
It's
that
so
is
much
not
more
off-road.
steep than it appears to be on camera. It could be deceiving, and it's the loose, the gravel, and everything. It's hard to maintain. So even where you perhaps think you can get the speed, and if it was completely paved smooth, you could get the speed, but you do not want to get caught in the gravel.
How'd
Whoa.
you do?
I believe I did well. I thought I had a 5:03, and they just told me I had a 3:03.
No, not a 303. That's
No,
you-
yeah,
It was a 503.
5:03. Okay, so I just tried to do my best and
That's
maintain my
smoking.
speed, and it was.
You beat Zoe.
Oh, that's the only reason I did my second run. I was like, oh, what, Zoe got me?
yeah, but in the
I
first
have to go
run,
do a second
first
run.
Zoe as winner or not?
So where's your place in the women's?
I believe I'm holding first. I believe.
Uh-huh.
I'd say
And-
so.
Yeah, but everybody, the girls was on the top and was saying she's going to beat us.
Well,
She's-
hopefully I can encourage them and say, if I can do it, you can do it. And the only reason I'm able to do what I'm doing is by following a lot of the ladies in the
That
U.S.
is
that
the most
are trying
important.
to push the sport,
Isn't that
and they
exactly
encourage
what
me.
we were
Yeah,
just
yeah,
talking
yes,
about?
yes. That's you.
Because of
you,
them,
you,
I'm here.
you don't imagine the 3 of you. This interview, I think, is going to be very easy. I'm like this.
But you got all 3 Millers here.
Yeah. But the important thing, you 3 don't know how important you are for our community. What you change, like for us, this 3
Buddy,
days
we
here.
feel it. We feel the love. That's why we're still here. We're still involved because you get what you give, and
Yeah.
believe me, to be given a little plot of land here. Yesterday, I don't know if you guys know this, but I am now a laird, which is basically a lord. I am
I'm going to
high
put the
and mighty,
video.
high on the hog.
I'm going to
I
put the
feel
video
like
for
a
you.
king.
No, but it's like this. But my friend, you always have to think like this. The 3 of you have done so much for the community that today you received something.
Oh my God.
From all of us.
Yeah.
I think
It was beautiful.
It's just a small thing that we are doing for all the work the 3 of you has made. And it's not because I love Bart and I love the
But he
children.
does.
It's not because of that. I'm telling the reality, the feedback, what I receive. And guys, I go to lots of events.
Yeah.
And believe me,
I know you do.
The guys love you, the 3 of you. You are, for the ladies, the ladies are amazed. And I love to see ladies riding. For Zoe, she don't know how big she is for other kids.
I really don't think she does.
Yeah. Just to bring, she's bringing too much people. The future emotion is winning so much money because of her. So, yeah, guys, because they are selling something. Because the kids going to buy the Pint X or they're going to the GT because we don't have anymore the XR, and they are buying because they see people like you riding, and it's not just riding, it's helping, explaining, taking care, enjoying,
Yeah.
showing what is a family, not just a family, the 3 of you, but a family like the Deaf Punks.
Yeah,
is
Deaf
a family,
Punks, all of it.
is a big family. And how do you 3 goes to the events and the events, the parties, the festivals, and how do you bring enjoy?
Well, we really try and put a positive spin on
But you are
everything
like that,
when we're
my
there.
friend. You are simple like that.
We don't want to exude more negativity.
Yeah.
I mean, there has been times where, I've gotten upset over something, Christy's gotten upset over something,
Yeah.
little Zoe's gotten upset over something, but it's very short-lived because we realize how lucky we are.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, just being out here, we are the luckiest, Ricky Ali and Brenda, we are the luckiest Americans on the planet right now in the Onewheel
you were
world.
yesterday with us, to 11 o'clock, all
Yeah,
of us.
and it was
speaking
still
with
bright
everybody,
outside.
Speaking with everybody, talking, helping, sharing, and lots.
And we're
of
gonna
guys,
do that tonight, too.
Yeah, and lots of guys. Maybe there was sooner. Go to the.
You got to give everybody the time they
Yeah.
deserve.
We
Yeah.
just want to spend as much time as we can you know, with everyone. I truly enjoy just connecting with everyone too. Even if I didn't race,
That is my
just
Onewheel.
being here with everyone, it's
This
an
one was
amazing
mine. I
experience.
give to him
and
to
not
ride.
only is it beautiful, an amazing place, there's amazing people. and
Are you okay?
This race was epic, and I'm so looking forward to
I come
tomorrow.
you then. And
You know, one of the things that really gives us the satisfaction is when somebody comes up to us and asks us a question, they have just really fucked up. Because we will take all day to answer their question. We will sit with that one person
yeah, because you
until
love this,
they
my
leave.
friend.
We want them to have all the time that they want with us. And a lot of people, you know, when we go to events and somebody says, hey, Bart, can you go over there and grab the microphone from across the way? I'm like, see you in 3 hours, you know, because, you know, somebody stops and talks to me. I am not going to say no to that. I am going to stand there until they feel comfortable that I've answered the question that they've asked. And then normally it's multiple ones. So I want these people to get all they can of my time, because my time, it's free to everybody. I want them to have that because I have learned a lot in the 5 to 6 years that I've been riding. And I'll tell you that what I've learned from the school of hard knocks. Nobody told me how to ride a Onewheel. I had to figure out the top speed on a
figure
Onewheel
out it
multiple different times. So because of my hard-earned knowledge, other people don't have to suffer, and I am giving it away free of charge. So listen up.
I just tell so guys. I see all the videos from them, and I love to see the videos from you guys. And he has, if he puts everything out, you're going to have hours and hours
Oh, yeah.
of stuff.
And normally it's pretty comical. And by the way, I know I mentioned it before, but this is the 5-year anniversary of my XR crash. Heard around the world. And you know what made that wreck so beautiful and so captivating to everybody in the Onewheel world is because it was the very first nosedive ever caught on camera.
Yeah.
From the angle that it was at, you could see it happen. That had never happened before. It was
that was top speed.
it was
He truly was in top speed.
It was so fun. But the thing is that they didn't see the story behind that, which I did post today for a lot of y'all to see. It was Google was kind enough to make me a little, snippet reel of that day. And the beautiful thing about that wreck was you see it, and then blam, and then, oh, he went down. And then you never see anything past that. So your mind just goes, what just happened? That guy's dead for sure. Like his nipples are gone. Like it. And I was in a.
Stand up. It was the greatest thing. When
Oh, I just jumped up and ran out. Now I was covered from, about 35% of my body's in the most raspberries I've ever had in my life.
Can you tell me that was epic?
It was epic, and I'd do it again. I did it again when the GT came out. I had less than 12 miles on it.
I'm going to go back again to the Future Emotion. I think Future Emotion wins lots of money because of this video.
and I hope they do. Matter of fact,
negative at all.
That is not negative. That was fun.
well,
Come on.
Here's the thing that most people don't realize. Unless you were in the Onewheel community back then, I was hated. People hated me. They're like, you are the reason why we have pushback. You are the reason why Future Motion is creating all these fun nannies and fun sponges to take all our fun away. The fact of the matter is, Future Motion called me up and said, hey, can we use your video as a PSA on what not to do? And I said, absolutely. Absolutely. And I was so thrilled that they gave me the opportunity to be the face of what not to do. And I spun it and turned all that negativity into a positive.
Do you think that is negative?
That's beautiful.
I think like me, I show my accidents sometimes
Of
for
course.
the people to see what can happen. Because
absolutely.
lots of people, we're going to talk about this. Lots of people see the videos from you guys or from other person, and they say, "Oh, I'm going to buy the Onewheel," and they don't read nothing, they don't know nothing.
Jump on.
Yeah.
Go riding.
And seeing the videos like your video,
The crash video,
Yeah, yeah.
I've gotten more people say, I bought a Onewheel because of your crash video.
Yeah.
And that, to me, does not compute. It doesn't make any sense. Like, I watched you eat it. And so I bought a Onewheel because I wanted to eat it. It doesn't compute, but I have been told so many times. Now, I've also been told, I've known you for years, and I never knew that was you that crashed on that video.
yeah, that was one guy there.
He said it yesterday.
Yeah, and the guy was asking me, maybe he's the same guy, and he's telling.
Is it just because I look old as shit now?
No, because he see me grabbing you,
Yeah.
and he was asking who is this guy, and I said, you don't know who is this guy? Wait a second, I put the video,
And he's like, oh, I know him.
and the
Yeah.
guy said, oh, I know this video. Yeah, that.
I'm
is the
getting
guy.
older, balder, you know.
No, you are not old.
I
my
don't
friend.
have a beer in my hand all the time now. I did quit drinking.
Ride a Onewheel.
I can still rock on a Onewheel,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah.
48
It's
years
not
old, and
just
I'm
that,
sitting
my
in third
friend.
place on a bone stock GT.
That is that. Yeah, thank you. I'm just going. We're not going to make this video, but I would like just to make a question for you, my friend. This
Yeah.
year is going to be the first time that we're going to have two Europeans, a girl and boy, representing Europe.
In the Onewheel Racing League.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think is going to is something that is helping something that we are going?
I am
Achieve something?
very proud that Future Motion and the Onewheel Racing League have decided to do this. You know, people over here in the UK and everywhere else in the world, they love Onewheels too. They want the opportunity. I had a young man up here. He said, how do I make it into the big time, Bart? He just asked me standing up here on the top of the hill. And I said, you know, put out a lot of content. Make yourself known. This is a sport where overnight you can become a sensation. There are very few venues that have that capability, but you can
You have
become
this
a
kid from
one-wheel
Hawaii.
star
Hawaii.
very, very quickly.
You have the kid from Hawaii now with you.
Oh, Jafari.
Yeah.
No, this young man that was sitting up here.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, you have the guy, this kid.
Oh, Jafari Sisley?
yeah.
No, he is not a Def Punks, but he is a good friend of ours.
Yeah.
And I've watched him as
But
he's
you have
come
Noah.
up through
Noah
the
is
ranks.
one of the crazy guys I ever seen.
Noah
in my life.
Mead? Yes, he is.
I was seeing this stuff for last time. He was jumping and making a 360 with the board. I was saying, what this guy is doing?
Yeah, he's nuts. Yeah, I actually, when he went out to go visit the guys at Future Motion, he stayed with a few of them down there, and I said, look, hey, you've got to be very careful about what you ask Noah to do, because even if you look at something that seems impossible and say, oh my God, what would it be like for you to go off this 12 stair? Noah was already riding to the top. It was like, oh, I'll hit it, you know. No, get your ass down here. Like, you have to be very careful because he will do it.
Yeah.
And I mean, not only will he do it, he'll try it until he makes it. That's the kind of attitude that Def Punks riders have. We're not always making smart decisions, but we're doing what we feel is right. We're trying to change the community for the better. We're trying to change this sport for the better. We're trying to bring up other riders. When we go to these events, we give away a lot of stuff. We haven't, matter of fact, we've lost so much money. We're not a nonprofit organization. When we do these raffles and things and selling shirts, that's literally just to try and recoup and cover
Yeah.
costs for doing things like
Lots of people don't know that.
they don't know that. And
They just think you are profiting from
yeah,
that.
we've never made a profit.
Yeah, yeah.
Never,
Yeah.
not one time. Matter of fact, I'm so far in the hole, but I don't care because I could be
But you
spending
know
my
that the
money
people
on
think like that.
far worse things.
Like the T-shirts I made, everybody.
I didn't
was
pay for
thinking-
this.
Yeah. The people was thinking, oh, you are now selling T-shirts. I have lots of work. I put the price. What is the price? The guy is selling.
We
it.
hardly ever cover the cost of our shirts. We give so many away to our friends and family. We want to spread the love. We want to spread the stoke.
And that is the idea. That's why I love you guys. That's why I think it's like this. People like you is difficult to find, but I'm going to tell the community.
Oh, we're out there, baby.
Yeah. The community of you guys are so big and so unite, and I'm so proud of how you guys do everything with so much love. But my question is like this: how do you see now that everything is growing? How do you see the future of these leagues? Do you,
That's a loaded question.
because seeing now the Europe coming, like this year is 5. I call it the 5 points. I have something for you. I'm not going to tell it. I have something for him, very special. I call it. I was the one who called it the 5 points. I'm going to give the logo for the league, Europe League, for him to use it. But it's something special that I made.
All right.
And the 5 points was 5 groups of different countries of Europe who came to this idea to create the league. And for the first time in life, we have the first races, the first events of Onewheels in Europe.
We're starting to see them. And I know we had one in Italy.
Yeah, it was in Italy, for Float Italia, and then was the Float Switzerland.
Switzerland.
And now is this one here,
Scotland.
And
but
the other
this
one.
is the first international ORL one-wheel event, is it? Or was
No, it's the other one. The third one.
So this is the third one. The first one in Scotland.
Yeah. And the other one then is in Belgium with a yoke.
You know, you asked me a question, where do I see this heading?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to answer that in a 2-part question.
Because we have 2 leagues.
2 leagues, that's
the
correct.
International, and you have the Europe that is working with the international, like you guys in USA.
That's correct. So what I think is going to happen now that we're starting to see events happening in the UK and out in Italy and places like that, hopefully get one in Portugal.
Portugal is going to have in October too.
Oh, yeah.
He's
So-
in the league. Fabio.
All these
one
people
of the guys
are
in the
going to
international
be
league.
riding together. So we're going to start seeing a mix of styles of riding that are going to be gleaned from riders that they get to race against. I was not as fast until I rode with guys like Bodie Harrison, Noah Mead, Kyle Hansen, and multiple other riders. I took a little bit from them, and they gladly gave it. Giving up the tricks of the trade is something that we do on a day-to-day basis, hour-by-hour basis in the one-wheel community. And they wanted me to be a better rider. I wanted to be a better rider. What we gave up for each other is gained exponentially in the back. So what I'm gonna say here is I think that the European League is going to move forward very quickly. United States kind of paved the way, gave them a good platform. We are
learning with you.
We have 5 or 6 years of racing background history that a lot of the event coordinators, Justin Thompson, all those guys that have created events, they've paved the way for this. So there is a platform that works. And even if you want to, change a little bit, you still have a good platform to work off of. So I think you guys are going to come up very fast. And what I think we're going to start seeing is a lot more international riders over in America showcasing new riding techniques, new riding skills, new tricks. I think, there might be a guy, a little 15-year-old in China that's the best one-wheeler on the planet, but we don't know that yet. I mean, he may smoke everybody in the United States, but we don't know that yet. We know that there's one in little Jafari over in...
How old is he now?
Jafari is 14.
Okay.
And you had to be, I believe, 14 to be able to race. And unfortunately, Jafari was so fast over the last years. Watching him come up, he's from Hawaii.
You was talking. You was one of the first ones to know him.
Yeah. We met him through his parents. His parents are a friend of ours, and we just, we fell in love with that crew. They're just so funny and eclectic, man. I mean, they're just a good group of people, and we watched him come up, and he was just a rising star. You could just see him rocketing to the top. And these new riders like Thor Callahan and all these young guys that are coming in are really posing challenges for these older pro riders. They are going to be, I think what we're going to see is a good transition because the older riders have skills and knowledge that these young riders don't possess. They have years and years of racing knowledge, but they also have years of learning and patience and understanding that these young riders have. There has been a little bit of contention about, man, how can I compete with a 100-pound, 14-year-old rider that is still made out of rubber?
We talk about that.
I'll tell you how. Because you have knowledge and skills that they do not have.
Yeah.
You know patience, and patience is a virtue. I spent a good amount of time racing, learning that going 100% and crashing was slower than running at 80% and not crashing.
In the back of his house, always riding.
Yep. So, learning that, I mean, these kids run at 100%. They either win or they don't even place because they crash. So, it comes down to skill and knowledge, but, I think we're going to look at Dave Stewart is 46 years old, and that man is the fastest rider I've ever been around.
I'm going to put it this way. Today was a guy riding very young, and I was behind you, and you do the 2 jumps with your time.
I took my time.
Yeah. And then you see this guy is coming like he wants to eat everything, and in the 2 jumps he falls.
Yeah.
Because it was not.
I slowed down more than I should have, but I figured that now these ramps were not really what you would imagine you would want on this type of course. They were very steep. They were about 2 feet tall on the backside. They went straight out like that and then fell off.
Yeah.
So if you went too fast, you were gonna sky the board out big time. But if you went too slow, the back tail was gonna hit, and it was tall enough as to where the front nose would fall right down and the board would do a front flip. So, did you see any of that?
Yeah, but the question is, what I'm answering your question is because
that was my skill level as an older rider.
Because you showed the experience.
I showed restraint.
The experience wins to the young guys who just want to win.
Send it!
And sometimes they lose the control because they don't know what they are doing. They just, I'm going to jump.
Yeah.
And then they fall, they lose time, and that was the difference for you. You take your time, you control it, you make the jump, because we know that the jump makes points.
Yeah.
And if you fall, you lose time.
20 seconds.
Yeah.
If you missed the jump, it was 20 seconds per. So there were 2 of them. So that's 40 seconds. And we did see where people made runs and went off them and then made runs without it, not even slowing down. And it was substantially slower, not hitting them. But exactly what I said. How far did you follow me down?
I followed you I followed you. You make the 2 ramps. And in the last ramp, I followed you till you make the technical curve that you have to go.
What is my motto?
Oh.
Smooth is fast.
Yeah.
How did I look coming down there?
Yeah, you was very fast.
Smooth.
No,
Smooth
you
and
was
fast.
Controlling. That was like clean, my friend. I was looking to Zoe. Zoe was crazy. Sorry.
She was kind of out there, huh? That's young though.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
That's
Zoe
the
just
difference.
stands on the nose
and
just
you control it. It's different.
Yeah.
You know that.
I maintain a proper level of speed.
You know where you have to brake.
Yeah.
What is the point? And the kids, they just
break
it.
Bomb through it.
Yeah.
I've had to work with Noah Mead so much on that. Noah is now finally kind of coming around and listening to me a little bit more, and it shows in his riding this year, especially. To make Noah faster, I had to slow him down.
Yeah.
I had to get him to understand that he cannot run at 100%. I slowed him down, and guess what? The boy started winning.
Yeah.
The boy sat second place in the standings. I think he's second or third, maybe right now in the point standings in the ORL.
Oh, I have to see it too.
Easily punching his ticket this year. He's gained skills, of course, over last year. He's gained knowledge. But I think when young riders really start listening and applying what these older seasoned riders are telling them, they're going to be devastatingly fast. And the same principles hold true here in Europe.
I'm going to ask you like this for us to come to the end. You seeing the race this year, I know that you know most of the riders out there. What do you think? what is your imagine is going to be the 4 guys in the final?
Oh my God! Every time I pick them, I'm wrong. This year, and obviously, when it comes down to racing, the worst thing to do is to speculate.
Okay.
Now, with that said,
The luck is one thing we have to have.
we have top riders that are so close in speed and ability, but their techniques, every single one of them, is different. When you watch Noah Mead ride down the course, he is a bulldog eating up the terrain. Who else is like him? Luke Austin is like watching a waterfall flow down the hill. He is just so smooth and natural. Jeff Adair just has this. He gets squatty. He's like a wrestler, and he just eats it up, and he just beats the terrain. Then you have guys like Kyle Hansen that you see them coming down the hill, and it's almost like they're watching a comedy show. They're laughing and they're smiling, and they've got all you see is teeth because they're so happy to even be out there. And you see them sometimes completely out of control, but for them,
Sorry, my
that's
friend,
natural.
you are telling everything that everybody's thinking.
Right. And, you watch them, and it's just such a pleasure to see these different groups of riders come together and ride. Bodie Harrison has his own style.
Can I ask you something? Bodie Harrison is a fantastic boy.
Great man.
Don't you think that is something that is always unlucky to never finish in first?
I would have said that this year would have been Bodie Harrison's year.
but-
Matter of fact, I said that at the very beginning of the year. I know that Bodie really wanted it. I was almost right next to him when he broke his collarbone.
Yeah.
And he popped up. I mean, it was just an unlucky, Bodie Harrison is possibly one of the finest, best riders
Yes.
on the planet.
And he's a finest person.
Everything that he does on purpose. Nothing's left to chance. He knows what he's doing. So the skill is there. What happened was a freak accident, a fluke, and a very unfortunate one for him because in the aspect of
Do you think
Bodie not having that happen, I would say that Bodie would have taken first at Race for the Rail this year.
Do you think he lose the possibility because we have to think that the young boys are coming strong and stronger.
Yeah.
No easy.
Bodie gives so much of himself, though. He's one of those riders that is a very generous rider. He's never going to take a pass that puts another rider in jeopardy. I raced against Bodie Harrison and beat him because I feel like Bodie could have passed me. I was running so fast. I figured I was going fast enough to where Bodie would have to wreck in order to try and pass me, and ultimately that's what happened. But he waited until the very last second. I feel he was right behind me the whole time, but he ran a consistently fast race and waited until he saw an opportunity to pass. There are other riders out there that are not like that. They will take a pass, and it may possibly put another rider in danger. Especially the young riders don't have that knowledge yet. I'm seeing them pass in corners. They're not upsetting the other rider or knocking them out of place, but it does cause the other riders to slam on the brakes real quick, which, if you're cutting in through and you're taking somebody else's line, that's not proper racing. You need to be able to pick your own line, let the rider in front of you continue on the path that they're going, and you have to figure out an alternative way to get around them. So these young riders, they're very hot. Like let's talk about Brandon Peavy here for a second. Also a Def Punk's rider. Brandon, 21 years old, wild man, super fast. Brandon Peavy lives in Tallahassee with me and is, when I found Brandon Peavy, he was riding around and he was already fast. But he started riding around with me and the crew out there in Tallahassee, and I watched him go from being a fast rider to being almost uncatchable for me, and then to the point where I was like, it's dangerous for me to try and follow him. I told him, you come out to the races with me, and I guarantee you, you're probably going to win. If you don't win, you're going to be top 3. And guess what? First 2 races came out, and he beat the fastest riders in the world. And he really put on a good showing. Now, where his youth came into play is when Noah Mead and Brandon Peavy both shot out front in the semifinals at the ORL event, Race for the Rail last year. I told both of them, do not do that. Do not strive to get out front. The pressure is on. All you need is first or second. So maintain a good speed, carry it through. Both of them shot out front. Both of them crashed. It is not advantageous to be first. It really is not, because in your mind, I mean, could you imagine trying to look behind you here, which we're going to see tomorrow, trying to look behind you on this course to see how close the riders are?
Yeah.
I would never take my eyes off the road out here. And secondly, in your mind, you hear them right behind you. They could be 30 yards behind you, but in your head, they're breathing down your neck.
And last year was crazy because of the fall. He fall directly to the finish line, and he lost. He was in first.
Yeah.
He fall, and the other two guys pass him. Direct.
Devastating.
Yeah.
Devastating.
That is a moment that you
Yeah.
say, "I'm the fastest one,"
Yeah, but
but because I don't pass with my board,
yeah.
I cannot.
And I totally agree with that rule. I mean, even if you crash through, I don't believe that you should take the win. I think you need to be on your board.
But that was maybe. I love him. I know that he's a fantastic rider. But don't you think that was maybe? He was on the front. He don't need to do nothing, and he was just pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. And
Yeah, that's because in
don't
his,
you think
I
that is
guarantee
something-
you, in his mind, they were right behind
Oh,
him. Because
okay.
what you hear,
Yeah.
you hear your blood pumping in your ears, you feel that adrenaline, and you don't dare turn around.
Yeah,
you
you-
just ride as
no,
fast
you-
as you can. And when you see that finish line coming up, all you can think about is another rider eking up, because it happens at every single race. Somebody gets passed right there
Yeah,
at the
but
end.
can I ask you like this? Don't you think that was a big lesson for the future? Because lots of people.
Yeah, but nobody learns from their mistakes these days, and nobody learns from other people's
But don't you think that
mistakes.
lots of people is going to see that and say, okay, I have to watch it more in end to control my time?
I think
not-
in that situation, that
Because
comes
he's going
down
to-
to rider
this guy was-
rider skill and rider knowledge and rider age.
The first
So-
year he won, he was with his arm broken.
Yep.
Second year, he could make the only guy who make two in a row.
Yeah.
And he is fast.
Yeah, that was, honestly, I went up and asked his dad. I was like, did
Yeah.
he do that on purpose? Like, because
Yeah.
it looked like he kind of bailed. But
And I
no,
was thinking-
he was like, you think he'd do that on
Yeah.
purpose? He almost got mad. And I said, no, but it seemed like it really did. It seemed like he was like, well, and Kyle Hansen came up and got in, which he would have knocked Kyle out, which Kyle and him were the year before. And Kyle so graciously, as he came off his board, go baby, go, he's clapping for him. It was so beautiful. The love that we have for the riders that's why I do this. That's why I love it. That's why when I got out of racing, I had to figure out a way to stay involved
Was
with the
difficult for
community
you,
and
my
racing.
friend, coming. I know that it's times like today. I was planning to race, but I was seeing, okay, I don't have no chance.
Yeah.
That is too risky for me. Was difficult for you to say, is enough.
It was I was like, what am I going to do now? Who am I going to be to these people if I'm not in front of the camera? People will forget about me. And I did feel like, I don't want to retire, but I can't keep doing this. And I do see that same thing in older riders,
How do you
like
come to
Dave
this
Stewart.
decision, my friend? Was because of the accident or before the accident?
I rolled my ankle so badly that it really hindered me the entire year. My performance went down. The year before that, I blew out my knee. Trying to keep up with these kids, it's and these fantastic riders, you give it all you have. And when you are injured, you race injured. And my heart goes out to all these fast riders, because 90% of them are riding injured. If they say they aren't, it's because their level and threshold for pain is through the roof.
But
they are capable of everything.
But Bart, I'm going to ask you like this: don't you think, when you did it, I know that it's difficult for us to come to this decision, but don't you think that was a good decision, because today you have a very important role?
I'll ask you a question. How exciting was today for you?
For me, I was. If you see
Over
my
the
life,
moon.
I was.
What do you feel like you had every bit of the emotional value as if you would have raced yourself, or do you think it was more enjoying everybody's wins, victories, fails, everything? You're getting all that. That's why I thought I was gonna lose everything, and I have all these people that I love in the community that I want to be involved with. And if you're not racing, how do I go to these events? What's the purpose of going to these events? I'll tell you what the purpose is. I have gotten so much more involved with the community ever since I'm not just making it about me individually in the race. I'm getting to see all these other, I'm sharing in their excitement, I'm sharing in the love, I'm sharing in the emotional value of it, but also the ups and downs are all part of it, and you get to be a part of all that. It's not just an individual win or loss,
but
it's a combined one.
I think today you have a more important role in this community. I talked with you yesterday in private, and I say, looking to you going there, commenting, talking, speaking, being the voice for all of us. Tomorrow you're going to be there, I think, to talk about the race.
Yep.
And to seeing that important role in a community, because it's not easy, my friend.
No.
Now changing a little, but seeing like you know everybody. You know the names from everybody. I was in the last, I was seeing the close to 3 hours and a little more of the live stream from you and the other two guys who was with you.
Oak City, yeah.
Oak City. And the guys was talking, they was seeing the papers, and you know the names of everybody, not just from the guys from the Onewheels, the guys from the other one, AUCs, and I was like, you know what you are talking about.
Well, I mean, I've been involved with the community for quite some time now.
But don't you think that is important? Like me, if I'm riding and I listen to you talking, hey, there is Nelson, there is Antonio, there is
I get what
Bart,
you're saying. So, that's why I decided that, being involved with the community, but also being involved with these races, being a commentator came very natural to me. I don't have any problems being in front of a mic, being in front, very charismatic in front of it. None of that bothers me. I'm so passionate about Onewheels, and I'm so passionate about the community that it's easy for me to talk all day about it, especially about the riders that I care about, the community that I care about, and the boards that I care about.
And the important thing, you are talking about not just the ride, you are talking about everything.
Yeah.
You know.
But I also know how to race. And I run believe me when I tell you that I ride the same course. Even if I'm not racing in the event, I ride that course with the fastest riders. So I know what the challenges are for them. I know what the challenges are for the B-rated riders, the C-rated riders, all the way down.
Yeah, but you know the technical. You know all the types of what you use, what you don't use, why you use it, why you have to go this way, downhill, uphill, and that I think is more important. You have a so strong role now in the PV. I'm telling, I know that is a one-wheeler, but seeing you in this event that was a mix of PVs there, and seeing you pushing for everybody, that's what we need. I think you coming to...
Well, it was also exciting getting to see that style of racing. I had never actively been involved with the EUCs or with the what are the
mountain boards and
the mountain boards, things like that. Which I will tell you that the mountain boards, my God, those guys take a beating when they go down. You would think that the one-wheelers get injured, but these guys, they strap their feet to the board. So when they go over, man, it just jiu-jitsus them to the ground.
I was last week in the event of mountain boards, and we was riding off-road. And my friend, the crashes and like
brutal.
Us, the one wheels we jump.
Yeah, we can come off them.
The AUCs we can jump, but the mountain boards they are.
Yeah, they're strapped to it. It's like watching it's like watching snowboarders on dirt and rock just get smashed into it. It's so painful to watch.
But don't you see, my friend? I'm going to change just a little because I have an important thing. I'm looking in the last time your wife was injured. But I'm seeing your wife is coming faster and faster all the time.
I was wondering about if this was really going to take its toll on her, but apparently, breaking her arm like she did really almost inspired her.
Uh-huh.
It made her understand there is a lot of pain at the end of that rainbow, but the pot of gold and the results that it yields is so much more beautiful.
I see it today. I was after you, the three of you, your wife, and your doctor, and you push your wife push Zoe, you push Zoe, Zoe push the two of you. I think it's like this. Don't you think that your wife doing these races and everything that make her go stronger and
Yeah.
faster?
Oh yeah, her confidence level after today, just hitting different terrains like this and finding that she can do it. Yeah, sure, it builds her confidence levels through the roof. The dangerous thing about that is that she really didn't before understand what was possible. Well, she certainly does now after breaking her arm and having to heal. She missed out on a lot of riding, and she realizes how important one wheels are to her as well. So when she went that 5 months without riding one wheels, and when I say without riding one wheels, that means without racing one wheels, because she certainly was riding around in a cast, sling and all that. She has become a top-notch rider, and where in the very beginning she was very timid, she was very shy, very nervous. You saw that. You could hear it in her voice.
My friend, I see her. I'm asking you this because every time
she's
I
confident
see her,
now.
every time I'm seeing now she racing, she's like,
Oh, she's leveling up at every event. Yeah.
and I see her today as one of the big candidates to be against the what we call the strong ladies of the league, and I'm seeing your wife maybe being pushing by you, being pushing by the team that you have.
Buddy, she's pushing herself.
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe you could slow down a bit. And when we're riding, I'm like, Christy, we're not in a race. And she's like, you always say it, if you practice slow, you ride slow. And I was like, touche, But for me, it's not important to maintain that level of speed. So now I've gotten to the point where I don't ride at that level like I used to when we're just enjoying a ride, but Christy certainly does.
But
so she's keeping me faster.
Yeah, but don't you think that that punks help her too?
Yes, and
Because now you have a big team, huh?
we have a team.
And you have a big name. I see lots of people around the world.
I love seeing
using
that,
these
them wearing the
t-shirts.
Def Punk shirts.
Yeah, and,
man.
and
And
you
the
have,
love we
you
get.
have a fan community so big. Don't you think that is something that push you guys?
It does.
To go faster and to say, okay, I'm going to represent these people who are fans from us and love
we
what
want
we are
to.
doing.
That's what we want to see. And when I see somebody, I'm scrolling through Instagram or scrolling through Facebook, and I see in the background of somebody's post somebody wearing a Def Punk shirt, that puts a huge smile on my face.
Because
I always put it. Look at that handsome son of a bitch in the back.
Bart, come on. If you go to the
It strokes my ego big time.
The one wheel groups and everything, and I'm seeing most of the time your T-shirts. I say, come on. If I'm a rider for these guys, I love to see my fans using all the T-shirts, all the things from all of us.
Yeah.
And that is something that is not from one day. That
How
is
did
lots
you
of years.
feel when Bodie Harrison was flying that No Limits to
Yeah,
Ride electric flag at Race for the Rail? How did that make you feel?
I feel, first of all, I want to thank so much to you because you was a voice for us.
Sure.
And second, you bringing the other people, you push the other people to say, let's support them, let's help him, let's do something. We are voices, and we have to share our voices to the world. And that was a door that opened for all of us.
Yeah.
And
we ended up giving that flag to the guys at Future Motion. So you're welcome. But, yes, I do think that getting involved with you and becoming your friend, it kind of opened a door maybe to that Future Motion might not have allowed to open due to the fact that there was so much publicity around you, and to have that happen at one of their events, and it became a really big thing. I mean, people were really flying the flag.
And I have to thank to your wife too, because your wife, she made the videos, and one of the biggest videos that we have in a platform is the video from you with the Bodhi, the two of you carrying the flag, and is one of the big videos that we have there. And I'm very proud that you guys made that for us, because open lots of doors for our community in Europe. Because let's talk about this. Europe, for you guys who don't know, Germany, UK, Holland. Holland is illegal countries that you cannot ride, and the fines is so big that the people are afraid to ride it.
They only can ride off road. And not even in certain places.
And that is then come you guys and say, "Whoa, come on, don't give up. We are here. We are supporting you guys there. It's difficult, but we don't forget you." And that's what for us. And then the guys was like, "Okay, I'm not going to sell my one wheel. I'm going to stay with my one wheel, and I'm going to fight, because these guys in the other side of the world, they are fighting."
And we believe in you.
And
we believe in the cause.
And then you see so much guys in the community saying, "Hey, it was so nice to see the guys in the other side of the world sharing and talking about us." I said, they are doing for all of us. And they are voices that we need. And
there's a lot of cancel culture going on in today's society, where they don't want to see certain avenues, certain venues. And I mean, one-wheelers do take kind of a hard rap, especially on mountain biking trails. You know,
here in Europe too, my friend.
We're fighting a battle that has raged for decades. I mean, you're talking about skateboarding. The way it came about, it was the scourge. The skateboarding is the scourge, you know. And then we had the snowboarding culture. Keep those snowboarders off our ski slopes, you know. Now it's keep those one-wheelers off our mountain bike trails. So it's not something that we're not familiar with. We do understand, and we do see what's happening. So we just want to as one-wheelers, as our community grows, we want to approach that differently than skateboarders approached that sort of culture. I want to do it differently than snowboarders approach the skiers. We want to give knowledge. We want to show that we're here to help, not to hurt. We want to bring up their level of riding skills as well. We enjoy watching mountain bikers. We love the trails that they've created, and we want to help them. We want to be part of that community. Yes, we have some people that, you know, get out of line quite a bit. And one of the issues that we're also finding about riding on the street, which I know you guys can't, or riding on the sidewalk, is we have a bunch of people that they take over the street. The police hate it. They can't do anything about it. You get 250 one-wheel riders out in the middle of the road. You've pretty much stopped traffic. They could ride down a 8-lane highway and shut it down. We need to try and do things a little bit differently, so that we're more widely accepted instead of more widely hated. And as a community, we can do that, but we need to put guidelines and procedures in place that everybody will abide by. And that's a difficult thing to do, because nobody wants to be told what to do. Nobody wants to be told how to ride their board or how to create the environment or atmosphere around them. But in the whole scheme of things, we really need to discourage people from, you know, jumping out into the road and riding in front of cars, especially these EUCs that I see on the highway. You know, these guys doing 55, 60 on the highway with cars is insanity. That's just insanity.
No, that is not the idea that we wanted.
It's not cool to put your life in danger, because
but they don't care about us.
One day, what we're going to see is somebody screw up. We're going to see an electrical failure or a tire blowout, and we're going to see something that none of us want to see.
Yes. And then he's going to shut all of us.
Then it's going to shut everything down for everybody.
And
we won't have this.
Then we're going to have problems. But for me, I'm going to ask you like this. I'm going to put you not in a good or bad position. I'm going to make two questions in one. I don't want to make this video very big, but I want to make you two questions.
This already is a huge video.
But it doesn't matter. It was important things that we talk about it. And then I'm going to put it in small, small. No, I'm not going to. I'm going to have the full one, and I'm going to put it in parts. But let's put it this way, my friend. You are looking like the Facebook. We have the one-wheel riders. We have.
It's so toxic.
Yeah,
the big ones are
that's
toxic.
why I'm going to. That's why I'm going to talk about that. Do you think that is a good propaganda to have these big groups like the one-wheel riders? Do you think that we get any information from this?
I'll tell you this: the guys that started these, I was in both these. I was in the very first one that ever happened. I didn't even know that a Facebook group existed. One-wheel owners group
and the
one-wheel riders. I remember when they were only 214 people. It was so great. All the way through up, to where we had thousands of people. It was always nice. Everybody had plenty of time for everybody. It was when we started seeing 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000
people. 60,000.
I'm a very well-known rider in the community, and almost none of them on these big Facebook pages know who I am, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But when you have somebody come on there and I put something out there and they're like, who gives a fuck? Buddy, I got all day to ruin your life. Trust me.
I know we need to say.
Why did you even comment? What's
when
the
I was
point?
in the interview, it was so good. The first interview, we have two interviews. The first one was not okay. We make the second interview, but I leave the two interviews for them. So, and the first interview, you tell the same thing, guys.
Didn't I say the same thing? I probably
no,
did.
You said,
I can't
no.
fucking stand them.
You say worse. You say, guys, if you want to have a nice discussion, I have all day for you guys.
Yeah, I'm retired. I have all day. I can fuck with you guys for weeks. I have the time.
I was like that was the best one. But now, seeing this Facebook groups, sometimes I don't come inside of these groups because
it's toxic.
Yes, don't have nothing to do.
Listen, they have little subcultures outside these, which are great. Like the one-wheel, the over 40 plus group. Fantastic group. A friend of mine, they started it, and it's a bunch of over 40 riders, 40 plus, and everybody on. It reminds me of the old. One-wheel owners groups, and in the beginning, everybody's very kind. They take the time
because we need the information, and
it shows the maturity level of that group. But also, I've been in these larger groups for a long time, and I don't post much in there.
Do you know what was for me very upset when I was with a Aero 16 in my one wheel, and I posted in a 60,000.
Oh God!
And I posted there. I put there, and I say I have a problem. Anyone knows what is the Aero 16? And I don't get no answer, my friend. I say why?
Look at there's a little look it up in the tab bar.
Yeah. And then okay. Do you think?
Should have just called me.
Do you think when you are looking now, we have Facebook and we have Instagram? What do you think is the best platform?
We have Reddit. We have all kinds of stuff.
But what do you think today is the best for us to have information and for us to reach our one-wheel community?
To try and figure out how to, actually.
Because it's so toxic, everything.
It really is, and obviously. Instagram is not going to be your better thing unless you know somebody and you hit them up through Messenger. Facebook, if you don't want to get blasted, there is that little box up there, the little search bar, and you can get into there and type in Error 16 and you'll get 50,000 different things. Now, the problem is you have so many riders in there that don't know what the hell they're talking about, but they think they're experts. So you could very easily get the wrong information from somebody claiming to be an expert, and now you have really just screwed up. So you have to pick and choose your battles. If you are looking for something, information, I would look to somebody in the community that is a leader in the community, somebody like myself. You can always reach out to me and ask me a question on Facebook or Instagram, and I will take the time to answer you back. Like or follow me or whatever, and I'll be in your arsenal of whatever you need. But there are people like me that have time in the day for people like you, and ultimately.
Time, and you have interest to
I have
help.
interest too, but I also have a keen sense of knowledge where I have weeded out all the incorrect answers and found them myself. And if I don't know the answer, I know the people that do know the answer. So I can very easily call them and have you an answer within a few minutes.
But that is the big problem. Don't you think that most of the answers what we get is false answers, or they don't have nothing to do?
You're going to get multiple different answers of the same thing, and you don't have a clue which one's right. And they'll argue with each other until they're blue in the face. It's unbelievable.
And
so
you ask yourself, like me, when I make this question, I'm talking about this. They give me so much, oh, you have to go this way. Oh, guy, my friend, the Aero 16 is already so many years here. You don't know what is the Aero 16. Sorry, I don't know. I never have this problem.
Not had one. Never needed to know.
Yeah. And okay, you have to search yourself. It's easy. And like these stupid answers, and that is not constructive answers.
Yeah.
If somebody asks me something, I try to be my best to give an answer. And when I see 60,000
you have people like Nico Ailman and Neil Bennett and all these guys that are so active.
Nico was one of the guys who
that guy's a little thesaurus of Onewheel, man. And not only that, but
that was one of the guys who gave me a nice answer, because I contacted him and he said, Nelson, this have to be or this or this. The cable maybe is twisted, and can that be
the cable broke inside? Yeah. That's 90% of it.
And he said maybe can be this, but that was information that I was okay. Now I know.
Now you know, and now you can work towards that. So yeah, Nico and guys like Neil Bennett, guys like these top riders, these people that they take the time to answer the questions, but you also got to understand that they've answered these questions thousands of times.
Yeah, I know, my friend.
So when it goes over and over, it can become stale. And when you see the same things, these new riders, they come in here, they haven't poured over thousands and thousands of hours of Onewheel. They don't want to look it up. They just want an answer. So the best advice that I could give to these people in the groups is, first of all, if you don't ride a Onewheel and you don't care about a Onewheel, get the hell out of the group. You don't need to be in there. We don't care about your answers, and we certainly don't really care about your.
Now they talk about that. So
I don't even ride a Onewheel. What are you doing here?
The no limits to ride was before close to 3,500 persons.
Yeah.
And I was there, and I see what is the active guys and what is the guys. Can you imagine that I take 1,500 guys out of the group?
Yeah.
Because they never write something in a group.
Yeah.
They was just there.
They're just joining.
And you said, why do I need this person? This person is toxic, because sometimes when you want to send a message, the other persons are not going to receive it. And today I have around 1,500 persons inside of this group, and I don't want it to grow more.
Yeah.
I want to have persons that love and come to the inside. You are there inside. You are one of the moderation.
Yeah.
And I don't want no more. I don't want it.
Well, there's only so many people that we can know, at any certain time.
Do you think in this 60,000 person that is Onewheel riders?
Hell no.
Do you think this guys?
These people that are like, I have 495,000 followers. I got 1 million followers. Good for you. They must all love you. Yeah, I mean, I understand now it's about making money. I didn't realize that, or I would have been really trying to get more followers, because I got a chance to meet Carter Scherer, who's one of my daughter's favorite YouTubers, really a famous YouTuber, 10 million followers. That guy is making bank. But to see him, he's got a massive house, like $10 million home.
Can you see if is everything working there, please? Is
Or
okay.
did his phone die?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So he's got, 10 million viewers.
Come here, Victor.
And he does so much so much edit, but he lives in a small apartment in town because he just wants to be alone. Like he doesn't want work to be his thing. So we were talking about you
we were
earlier.
talking about you, my friend.
Can we? Okay, so. Clip. This is the vid conversation we were having earlier. So Nelson, whatever this is here.
Yeah.
So we were talking about how fantastic your board is, and we wanted to pick your brain a little bit because what I explained to them was basically that you created your Onewheel, your Vesc, and you created the tune without ever having ridden a Onewheel before. You and Kyle Dorkson may be the only humans on the planet that had to figure out how that should work. I mean, he went ahead and made the thing, but you had never ridden one, so you had no preconceived notions of how it should ride, and you have possibly the finest tune and Onewheel I have ever ridden. So how did you get to that point, and how long did it take you to get to that point? And after you actually rode a real Onewheel, what was your thoughts on it?
Well, as you said, I never had a chance to try an original Onewheel, and I just started building my own. Of course, I was watching tutorials about other Vesc builders and stuff, but I had no idea how it must feel and how it should feel. Yeah. So I just stepped on it and kind of from some settings that I took from other riders as a kind of a beginning.
Hola.
Then I started like just changing the shape
Come
to
here,
my
guys.
liking without knowing how it should be. And I found a shape that I liked, and that was on my first Onewheel. This is the third one. But I'm still creating my own shape because I'm not trying to recreate any other shape. And
What worked for you?
yeah, I do what I feel works for me,
Bring your board
and I
here.
love it. And you said you love it too, so I'm happy.
It was fantastic. How long did you ride these and create tunes before you actually rode a Onewheel?
It was almost a year.
That's insane.
Yeah.
And when you got on the Onewheel, what was your initial reaction to that?
It's super wobbly, not stiff, like on a boat with big waves. I don't know, I didn't feel safe going fast.
Right.
Mine is quite stiff. It kind of gets you leveled as much as possible. On an original one, it's a little bit softer. And I just couldn't get that feeling because I was used to my feeling.
Yeah.
So that was it, and I kept this kind of feeling.
Have you ridden a GT?
I did.
Do you find them to be the same or a little bit better?
They might be a little bit better, yes.
Yeah.
Might be better.
So for the guys out here in the Vesc world, Vid has the finest tune that I have ever ridden. Matter of fact, I didn't get to spend a lot of time on him. I wanted to race on it, but he looked at me. He was like, "No." So
No, you can do it.
no. But you were very fast down that hill. Matter of fact, the Vescs definitely came out in numbers here in the Highlands. I was shocked at how many people are Vesc owners out here, as well as I was shocked to find out how many GTs were out here, because I know how expensive they are, but Vescs are really, really popular over here for the reason being that they're a little easier to get. They, when things happen, they can just replace the parts. I know that we had a rider summit in the United States, and I have had a little bit of inside talk with that, and I do know that we have some things coming in the future, which I won't talk or spoil because I'm gonna let them handle it. But I think that I spent some time with and Josh Haley from Makers PEV, two exceptional human beings. You're familiar with the little Fokker,
Yes,
of course.
I have it here.
He has it in here. So what I experienced between your boards and their boards is an absolute nimble machine that is capable of spinning on a dime and heading the same direction. You can spin it around backwards. I was doing it at like 10 miles an hour. That's insane. It's impossible to do on a Onewheel. So what I'm trying to say is Onewheels are great. They're fantastic. They are what I would let every man or woman ride. That's what I think you should learn on. They give you a stable platform and knowledge to build off of, which is why you are so fascinating to me, because you didn't have that. So with that, Vesks are coming along as almost a step past that. They're creating a board that gives you the opportunity to level up past where your standard pint, XR, GT, things of that nature are falling short on. I'm not saying that they're falling short because they're not great. I'm saying for certain riders that want more from their boards, it's giving them that opportunity. How do you feel about that?
I feel to each rider its own, you know. Some people that started on an original board will maybe never like Vesc, or they just have to get used to it. As the same as I said, I didn't really like the original board when I had a chance to try it, but maybe if I would spend some more time, maybe I would like it. So I would really say each rider needs to find his own comfort zone, and I know many good riders see my tune and they see these numbers are wrong.
Right, but give it a try and actually give it a try. Don't just go, oh, I don't like it and change it. Spend a couple days on it, ride your favorite trails.
Like putting like this. This guy was with a GT. He's changing now for a Vest. And the beginning now is being very difficult for him.
Yeah.
It's a big change.
I think I never say that I miss. I think I never say I miss my original GT. But first day I try my GT Vesc, I felt
that was not a good sensation.
Exactly, because it was like very
unstable.
Unstable, yeah. It was like I don't
like
have
bubbles.
I don't have a wheel. I have a ball, you know, and it was difficult.
That was for him difficult.
But now I start to feel more comfortable and losing my fear again, and
is something that you have to used to.
Sorry?
It's something that you have to get used to.
Yeah, exactly. You have to try. And,
But then we have here a guy here on the back. That is Fabio. Fabio is from the Algarve League, and he rides the GT original. He has he got.
He's mic'd. He got a mic.
I have a mic, and he has a XR original, and he's a fantastic rider. We have Chris in this side that is with the original one too, and they are very fast too. I think every rider like we was in Italia, and the fastest guy there was a kid with 15 years old with the original one, XR. And he beat all the Vesks, all of them.
Yeah, in the time trials. Yeah,
and that's what comes the question. That I'm going to ask to Fabio, because Fabio for me, and I don't know if everybody shares the same, but Fabio for me is one of the more experienced riders that we have, technical, because he has lots of skills, good skills. We are in Portugal most of the event with him, and he showed us how to increase your skills. How can you do downhills, going lots of things that for us we could not imagine how to do it. Really? And he helped us a lot. And he's of course
you're the European Nico.
It's that's what makes strong this community. We are seeing a guy who builds this Vesc, and you have the possibility to. We have other guys trying to do that. He think about, oh, I want to travel in Europe. I'm going to have batteries that I can take out.
Now you're talking right now about what I wanted to ask him about and tell you guys a little bit about is, can you tell these people about a little bit about your separated battery, how you created that, as well as the placement of how you have your battery packs in the board, and how you feel that directly affects the way it rides.
Well, I wanted to have a board that's legal to fly, and I just checked the aviation rules and tried to make a battery by the aviation rules.
Can you make me something?
And I figured out it's possible. You just have to make smaller packs, more of them, and that's all you basically have to do. It's a little bit more of the cables and connectors and stuff, but it's all possible to do.
So you're running a battery pack back here,
yeah,
and
it's
a battery pack in the front.
It's split in 5 packs. I have 4 in the back, 1 in the front. It's 84 volts in total, 2P. It's some 20% more range than a stock GT. and sorry, by StockXR. So that's all I want. You've seen this board in Oak City,
I have.
so you see it's possible. It was
I see, seeing you in Oak City and then seeing you here in Scotland, and like there's been a few of you, like Clint and the rest of them. It just blows my mind because I realize how far away I am.
Yeah.
So knowing that you came so far, like just to be here, it's impressive. I mean, we're all traveling for this Onewheel thing. That's gaining traction over here in the UK and in other places, like he said, the 5 stars. Is this something 5 point? Do you see? Is this something you see yourself continuing to do? And
for now, for sure. Yeah, I love it. I can't wait to be on other events.
Okay, so
And
We're going to have two more events this year in Europe. Is the Belgic wheelers is going to make the next event in August, and then Fabio, yes, correct. And then you have Fabio from the Onewheel Algarve. They are doing the Onewheel Algarve tour, and this year they're going to start. Give to Fabio. Fabio, tell us a little more.
Okay, yeah, just very brief. So this year we're introducing the race, which is a race as
Is something
part of-
new?
Yeah, something new. The first year we're going to do the race, which will happen at a racetrack that's used for other international events as well, and it's going to be part of the European Onewheel League. It's in October 2nd and 3rd. And then, as usual, from 4th until 9th, we're going to do the long distance. So for 4 days straight, we just ride across the country. We all meet in the center of the country, in the south side. We go to the border of Portugal and Spain, and for 4 days straight, we wake up with the sun rising. We ride, charge, ride, charge, ride, charge.
4 a.m.
Yeah, 6. Yeah, almost. Yeah,
But
yes,
you have
yes.
to think like this. You have to think like this, my friend. This guy here, lots of people don't know him. He's very quiet, but he's doing a lot
In the community.
for the community. You see this league in Europe, but he's not in a league of Europe. He's in an international league, and he's trying to help building a better community. He knows lots of persons, he knows lots of people, but lots of people don't know him, and he's one of the best riders we have. Not as a rider, but a person who teach and help. In Portugal, he is now doing lots of events to bring people to learn how to ride, and it's something that is he create now that he has lots of friends in close to him that they bought new Onewheels and everything, and now his group coming bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
And that's what we need.
Are you part of the International Onewheel
Yes,
Association?
I'm currently the vice president.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
There you go. So that was my question.
Yeah.
I was like, have you heard of them?
Yeah, I have heard of them. I'm
He's
currently,
very active, but nobody
yeah,
knows that
but
he's
I
active.
don't really like to just be in the
very
spotlight.
quiet.
I don't.
Well, you are now.
Yeah.
Here you are.
but
Yeah. That's why I think it's important for you, Bart, you, like we was talking here in the interview, to know persons here in Europe that they have so much love, and he has lots of love for this community.
Yeah.
And he has more love than maybe all of us here. Not you, the other ones.
I can actually feel
I
it.
don't
No. It's like this. I love Fabio because he joined. I have new friends from around. Last year was 12 countries there. 12 countries.
Yeah.
America from all around. Victor was last year with us, with this machine, and he present to us the Vesc. Most of us, we didn't know what was a Vesc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And having this guy there,
He's bringing knowledge.
Yeah.
He's bringing something more that we didn't have.
Uh-huh.
And that's what we're trying to do in this community, is bring awareness of everything. We don't just like Onewheels. We like everything about Onewheels. We like everything that created the feeling that we get when we ride them. And that extends to Vesks, that extends to every aspect of what we consider this. Just because it doesn't have the future motion controller or what have you, doesn't mean that this isn't a Onewheel. It's a different version of a Onewheel. It's the controller is now being controlled more by the user than it is by selected programs, and that that's where it comes into play.
Yeah, like I want to mention just a few small things. Like today I got water in my sensor and it ghosted. I opened my app, I changed the values of the sensors, and it worked again.
Right.
With a stock board, you just can't do that. And maybe I wouldn't be able to race or something like that. You know, it makes just everything so much simpler. Any trouble you have, you just look and you can maybe repair it today.
That's
or
why
maybe
Bart
if you
is
don't,
here.
yeah,
Now
maybe
here-
if you don't repair it today,
This
you
is
repair it at home.
let's get into this. How many of you guys are Vesc riders?
I think about it. After this summer events here now, in the winter break, I will buy a vest for my XR as well, I think, yes.
Are you a Vesc rider? Are you a Vesc rider?
Next year, I'm going to try
Are
to
you a
get one.
Vesc rider? Are you a Vesc rider? Okay, so we have 3 Vesc riders and 3
I'm a
and
normal
3 one-wheel riders. So
No, I'm an Onewheel rider.
yeah.
For now.
Okay, so not on a Vesc.
No.
Okay,
Only
so
2 for now.
So do you feel what my question here is in the United States, Vescs and future motion boards, let's say it that way because they're all one wheels, we run in different class. Vescs we typically will call an open class.
Yes.
Open source tuning, open class board, open class racing, because it certainly adds a lot of elements that future motions boards cannot achieve. So here, which I was very surprised that you guys combine all the future motion boards and the Vest together to race together under the same platform.
That is something that have to change.
Yeah, we
That,
talked.
that has have something that have to change. I'm friend from Fabio. I give advices, and I'm always this guy. I want to change for Vesc, not because of that. I'm going to tell you why. Because this guy was the guy I was talking about. You have to have a board that you buy with lots of money, with all the parts, and then you have to have too much time waiting
Away.
for your machine.
So you were the gentleman we were talking about earlier in the
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
in the video.
Yeah, and that is very sad for us buyers, or like Vic, he told us, they have to open a little more for all of us.
Right.
You have to be not so close. It's so difficult for us. Like him is telling, I have a small reparatur or changing the tire. I have to send it to America. That makes no sense.
The other thing too is, can you imagine? I mean, how it would be if they separated Vescs from the future motion boards here? There would be not enough people really to race. So I think that's why here, and I did notice that, but you guys are building this community. We struggled with this years ago, having enough people at events to create enough, even to have trophies enough for everybody. Because when you only have 2 people in a group, let's say women over 50, there's one rider in it over 50. Do you make trophies for them? Do you not lump them in with somebody else? Well, then they say it's not fair.
Yeah.
So we have to understand where fair becomes reality. We can't make everybody happy. We can't give everybody what they want. So right now, until things become bigger and everybody really starts to come together more and we have larger groups, we all have to kind of get out of this whole mindset that, oh, I'm offended because I didn't have my own class and I had to ride in another class. That's just going to have to
But that
sit
is
by the
unfair,
wayside
my
for a little
friend.
while we grow.
But that is unfair that I'm riding XR against a Vesc that is going.
I mean, I was riding a bone stock GT, and what am I sitting? Third?
Okay, but
Second?
not changing the point.
Okay, so I'm definitely the fastest one-wheel rider here, the future motion board rider. So how did I get? I thought I was like 3rd or 4th.
No, I think at first you got first place, and then I think that was because of the time penalties,
Oh, I forgot about the time penalties.
Yeah, afterwards. So now you're second, Adrian, which is the best rider.
Yeah, he was smoking. He was so fast. 10 seconds faster.
Yeah, and he fell 3 times. So
Yeah.
And he felt it.
Yeah.
someone that falls 3 times and
So-
is 10 seconds faster.
So what does that tell you? I didn't fall at all. Rode it about 75% of my ability, 75 to 80% of my ability.
And he folded
Didn't
2 times
crash.
in the jump.
Did both the jumps nice and easy like I knew I would. And yes, he was 10 or 11 seconds faster than me, but he crashed 3 times, and he was running, give or take, around 40.
Yeah.
So I still got second.
Yeah.
So, yes, he created a faster environment, but he also crashed 3 times. He could have hurt himself badly. He could have injured
He
himself.
couldn't hurt. If you see the videos, that is
It
online,
looked,
guys.
it looked brutal.
He felt very bad, guys. I was worried about the guy. I passed here the finish. I could not pass because of the track side.
beam,
They was very upset with me, but I was worried about the guy
Yeah, and I'll tell you another thing.
because he stand up and it was like his hand. It was
This
like,
is the difference between, and I'm not tooting my own horn here at all, but I am a very seasoned racer. I've been racing for a long time. I realize that this is the difference between a qualifying race and an actual semifinals versus finals race tomorrow. I will be a lot faster tomorrow. The difference is I didn't need to be that kind of fast and bring that kind of speed to a qualifier.
but
And I didn't do my second qualifier because I knew my first qualifier was fast enough to get me in. So that's the difference between, plus it also stems back to you guys wanting to experience as much as possible, running 2 laps. But in my mind as a racer and as a pro racer, I thought the possibility every time you go back up that mountain and go back down it, you have created a higher level, a higher chance of injury or damage to yourself or your board. So that to me, I said, okay, this is a dangerous course. Can we all agree that this is a very,
It's very
highly
dangerous.
dangerous course?
It's very dangerous.
So tomorrow's going
That's
to be
why
even worse.
I was talking with the guys and I say, guys, yesterday I'm going to ride with you guys because I was thinking that was off-road.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go downhill. And everybody, oh, you're going to go with your one wheel? I say, yeah, I'm going to go. And then when I go to the top and I see that was
It's
I
a
ride
rocket
with the
ship
guys
down.
in the second bench, and the guys start to make the second jump, and everybody was falling. And I say, okay.
Why did they
sorry.
put the jump right next to the ledge on the side? Why did they put it on the inside where there was a wall? I was like, right where it jumped, and then it goes off and falls 35 feet down below you.
They changed that for the second.
Did they? Oh man, because I was the first one down, and I was like, oh Jesus Christ, man! All I could think about was if I fuck up here, the board is gone down the hill. So rolling down the mountain. So
I'm going to give you something now.
all right.
First of all, but before I finish, I just want to say something. All of these guys we have here, most of them is lots of guys seen you ride, other ones not. But most of them, Fabio, Chris, me, Andre, Vic, I don't know, but I know that we see you ride, and we learn so much about you, and we increase our skills. I'm not the best rider like lots of them, but Andre started he was in the first race in Portugal with 30, 40 kilometers riding a one wheel. He was very young.
No, not that low, but less than a year.
Yeah.
Riding.
So, and for me, I want, and then I meet this beautiful Spanish guy, and a good friend from all of us today, and he has so good skills riding.
Everybody here does. I was very surprised.
And then we have Chris here. Chris is.
I'm learning things from you guys.
Chris remind of an angel. He's always laughing.
I talked with you for a good amount yesterday.
It's like he falls, and when he stand up, he's already smiling again.
I remember E3.
He's like the Kyle Hansen.
Yeah, it's like
of Europe.
Somebody that you see his heart is like just love.
What's your favorite part about this?
Of this track here.
Yeah, or just one wheeling in
Oh.
general, because apparently you're a very happy human being. So
I really,
give us your secret.
I really love to float with the music. So
He has to have
yes.
always music in his bag.
Yes.
Always his
It's-
bag.
it's-
Always.
Did you race with music?
I race music, yes, but I put off my box and only use the earplug because I don't want to have this obstacle in my back.
Absolutely.
And yes, but I need it for the flow. So if I write down with music, it catches me. And
I was really surprised to see how many people rode with backpacks. It's like, have you ever fallen with a backpack full of shit on?
Yeah, but there's
It's like
some backpacks.
falling with a bag of rocks.
Yeah, but there's some backpacks here we use in Europe, like the
Water packs.
yes. No. Bumblebee. Bumblebee is one certificated 98% of security for you to go in motorcycles, and it helps you with your back and everything. You can have an accident, and you're going to be very safe. And lots of guys now are using these bags, but I don't feel.
I don't think that's what I was seeing.
but that's the problem.
Especially this guy that went off right here and went off over there. I was like, oh
guys,
God.
This guy.
It's empty. It was only for safety, to save my back. Yes.
So, but before I'm going to share something to you that I make myself. The league, I hope that they made it for each one of them. I created because I think what they did was very big for all of us lovers from Onewheel. Here was the 5 points. Having 5 events this year in Europe was not easy.
You guys had that many.
Yeah.
I mean, that was quick.
That was like, for me, it was like a bless seeing that happen, and I create for these guys something that was like the 5 points. That was the 5 points that we have here in Europe. That was the 5 events, and I want you to have it. And in the back, I create something special.
Can we hold that? Yeah.
The special thing is why there is no more electric, because everybody can. And the sentence is like no limits to ride. Onewheel. That is simple.
Yeah.
And that's for you, my friend.
It is beautiful.
It's a little too big, but I have this one,
listen,
and I would love to for you to have it.
I can turn this. I've got a whole bunch of things that I'm going to turn into a Onewheel shirt quilt.
My friend, we have to thank you so much for you to come here. And
it was my pleasure.
You don't imagine that when I see you here, we need help. And we need persons like you.
I'm here to give it.
Yeah. We need persons like you because it's growing now in Europe. I know my friend. I know my friend in. I'm going to talk about Fabio. Create a good environment in Portugal, and now they have a good group. But like us in Germany, we are in struggle to have friends to ride. Most of the times we have to ride with other persons don't have nothing to do with the Onewheel, because there is no guys to ride Onewheels.
Yeah.
Because they are afraid. Then you have this guy is in Madrid, that is difficult to find guys to go to a ride with him.
I talked to a guy yesterday that said this is the most people he's ever seen. He's like, I've only ever seen 2 to 3 people ever in a group.
Yeah.
So
that is
he was blown away. And you know, for us, we don't see it like that anymore. But being that I was one of the very first guys out there really riding and doing these sort of things. So to see another one-wheeler is like seeing a unicorn being born. It was unbelievable. We're like, one-wheeler, it'd blow our minds. And to me, it's still like that. Even when I see one, I could see a group of them, like, still mind blown. I wonder if that's the way everybody feels. The new riders now, knowing that there's that many riders out there, I do question that. But thank you so much for this shirt.
No, but you have to think like this.
I love it.
I'm going to just say, because you are not just one person, you are 3 persons. You have
that's what
Zoe,
my wife says.
Zoe, your wife, as for ladies, you have for kids inspiration, you have for ladies inspiration, and then we have you for the other experience
for all the dumb shit.
Yeah, no, it's not the dumb shit. It's like you said yesterday, on the middle of the rain, information for helping the community, and that's what lots of people need to have, and we need that. That way we can grow our community in Europe, because sometimes it's difficult.
Yeah. And I do think that Future
sometimes
Motion
we
really
have to
needs to help with that as well, because
for us not to give up.
They are a U.S.-based company, but they are worldwide. as far as their product. So, a U.S.-based company has the obligation to assist and help all of their riders, not just their United States compadres. They need to expand and really assist in helping like they assisted in the United States monetarily, in multiple different aspects. I know that they're bringing a female rider and a male rider from the European League that top points. And that's fantastic. That's a start, but it's a drop in the bucket. It is not enough. Even now, they need help. Being here, it's fantastic. Just seeing what they have created from what they've gleaned from us in the United States. The event coordinators in the United States. I hope that you're utilizing those people, and if you don't know who they are, I do. So.
Very good contact.
And we have to say to this guys in Scotland.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
From these guys in Scotland, we have the privilege to have this event, but it's illegal here to ride, my friend.
That's the other point. I mean, how do you combat that?
He achieved, because this is a private event, but he achieved something to make in one country that is illegal to make. Me in Germany, and he knows because he's very active.
Is this possible to do in Germany?
No.
Not even at a private event?
Yeah, I can make in a kart event, and there is one place that I found that they made it, but 99% they say no.
I really wish it to me and for us in Germany.
We
for
would
the
love
community,
to make it.
That maybe a kind of Winterberg mountain bike downtrailing park where you can rent for a weekend. That we can manage an event in Germany. It would be awesome.
It's impossible. It's like impossible.
I don't know.
I tried.
So
I tried too much times. It's like this: you open 10 doors, and when you see 100 close.
Okay. Let's shift gears here, because the guys at Future Motion in the marketing department, they're friends of mine. I know them very well, and in the next coming up months, I'll be spending a lot of time with them. So if you could ask them a question, or if you could say to them, what would be a way for them to help you achieve your goals here in Europe and all these other places?
Can I tell you one?
Yes.
I'm going to tell you one. Support more the Europe one-wheelers.
Okay.
We have
and
less
how would you
support
like
for
to
them.
see that happen?
Directly from the Future Emotion.
Okay.
We don't see it.
Monetarily or?
No. Sometimes it's not monetarily. Sometimes it's they being present. They have
their presence.
Yes, because we don't see. We have companies here representing them, and most of the companies they cannot.
I'm surprised I don't see any one-wheel banners.
No, because these companies is just selling.
Yeah.
And when there is a problem, you have to go back again to the Future Emotion. They say, we cannot do nothing, we just sell, and you have to go to Future Emotion in USA. That means we are lost. We are alone. We don't see this Future Emotion helping us.
Yeah.
It's difficult, and we don't see that present. We don't see, okay, it's like you buy something, it's like you buying something from China.
I was just about to make that reference.
That is, sorry. Do I hate Future Emotion? Sometimes yes, because I see my friend having to change to other something because
hate's a strong word.
Yeah,
no,
it's not way.
Dislike the way.
Yes.
Dislike
it's
the
not.
way.
No. Yes. That is too much. That is too much. But sometimes
we love Onewheel.
Yeah. I love Future Emotion. Yeah. I would love to see Future Emotion like he told.
Yeah.
Have the possibility that is something wrong, that we can fix it, and we don't have to go back to USA, and don't have to stop my fun.
I think we're gonna see.
You understand what I mean?
I think we're gonna see a big shift this year in Future Motion.
And start selling parts. How many people ask me for help to help them repair their original one-wheel. And usually I have to
and we don't want to destroy the Future Emotion. We want to help them to grow.
I will tell you this right now. The riders that were at this Rider Summit.
Can I tell you something before? He's not selling parts. He's not selling parts. I'm a cook. He has his profession. He's a tattoo guy.
It's not like we're all getting paid for riding one wheel.
He has his company of doing totally different. We don't want to win money with this. We want to have fun, and we want to make the future emotion life easier.
You know what I've seen over the last
It's like
few
open
years?
a little of the door, just a little.
Well, now that's where I was going to get, because what I've seen, especially within this last year after COVID, there was a huge ramp in one-wheel owners during COVID. Yeah. What that did was it really lessened the blow for Future Motion from all the backlash they've been getting. But ultimately what that did was it provided a much larger group of one-wheelers that had never been before. So with that being the case, it opened avenues and doors for us as a community to start asking for what we want. Now, we are the little fish in their big pond. The community, we're only 50,000 people, and half of those people are assholes and probably don't even ride. But they have sold hundreds of thousands of boards. Hundreds of thousands of boards. I think that the amount of GTs are 400 and something thousand boards. How many of those people have you seen or heard from in the community? Yeah. Very tiny. But the difference is we perpetuate the whole thing. We are the ones that keep buying the product. We're the ones that keep pushing the racing and keep pushing the product building. What I said was they need to be embracing the aftermarket people, because they're doing things for them. They're taking all their R&D and doing it for them, and they're doing it for free. But they're taking things that we're buying and learning from, and they're creating boards from that. So I'm starting to see a shift from Future Motion into where they're really interested in finding out what we're interested in. And you know what's really putting the gas on? Vesks. Yeah. Because they see that that's what we want. Yeah. We want to be able to control more. In the beginning, they were worried about us being able to control more because it was a little outside everybody's wheelhouse. Yeah. But now they're seeing, oh my God, these guys are brilliant. They're losing their customer base to just a simple thing that they could do. They could allow it.
What I see is many people don't want to go Vesc because they don't have the knowledge, they don't have the skills, they don't want to invest a lot of time.
Salgado.
Yeah, they don't want to invest a lot of time into building such a board or even repairing it. They want a good board that they can buy.
They want a finished product.
Yeah, most of the riders want a finished product.
Yeah.
And if Future Motion can deliver this, they will not lose customers on Vesc.
Yeah.
You know what I've noticed? They're allowing more things. Let's just look at the One-Wheel Racing League. They've changed over completely. When I was racing in Race for the Rail, my wife and most of them, we had to ride bone stock boards. We had to ride an XR with a Vega on some of the hardest terrain you guys possibly would have ever seen. And we had to do that after being on boards that were completely built and modified. We weren't allowed to qualify on them. We had to qualify on stock boards. Now, we've seen a shift in that, an almost immediate shift. You know why? Future Motion is starting to see, this might not have been a great idea. These guys might need a little bit of help on this because we're taking some of the best riders in the world and we're throwing them against the hardest shit in the world. We might want to let them use boards that they're more accustomed to. And we might not have built the best. We may have built a great board, but the aftermarket parts are there for a reason, because we want to customize our board to ride the way we want them to ride. But we also find that it's safer. It's more enjoyable to ride. A one-wheel's fun to ride, but wouldn't you rather it be a great ride, one that was tailored to your own specific needs, your desires? I mean, that's what it's all about.
Look at him, my friend.
Yeah.
He was talking to us in a group, and he say, my machine is not working. It was with the original one, with the GT. And because of the event, you have to change very fast to the Vesc, because it was the fastest way for him to start to ride again. Because if he sent to America 400 euros, to send it
For shipping,
just for shipping. Yeah. See,
And unfortunately, vests are expensive, especially if you're putting them together and buying them as a part.
Yeah, and then
the same price.
then I have to travel.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I have to travel.
And you don't
there.
get rails or any of that shit.
Yeah. And then you say, oh my God, I have to change to Vesc directly, because if I was talking with him and said just shipping is €400, $400 just for shipping.
I mean, I'm the farthest away in Florida from California. Like, it is on the opposite side of the United States. And
Closer to Europe.
For him.
I keep asking him,
For
I'm like,
him.
why don't you guys just have one in Florida
Yeah.
and like one in New York and one in California and one overseas or two overseas? And the reason is because we are still talking about a very small company in the scheme of things. Now they're getting bigger, but we are still talking about a very niche product that is a very small company.
But my friend, if you have just one company in Europe, just one, put it in Germany. Germany is in the middle from all Europe. Shipping today, it costs €30. For everyone, shipping to repair, €30 is very easy. But €400 without repairing, huh?
I think that there's going to be some.
Do you understand what I
Matter
mean?
of fact, I know that there's going to be some new news coming
And
out.
you're going to win customers, not losing, because they're going to say, oh, we have the custom service in Europe. And like him, oh, my friend, I have a problem with my one wheel. Okay, I can receive the parts from the one wheel and I can mount it for you. But he don't have that. He said you have to go to Vesc. Sorry.
I think that is everybody subscribed to Onewheel on YouTube?
Yeah.
Start watching that. Within the next month or so, I think that you guys are going to find that they're changing their tune. They're really working with the riders, working with the community, and I can't say much, but I will tell you that there are some big changes coming, and it's the start. It's not everything we want, but it's a start to what we need and what we're desiring, and that right
was a
there
fantastic conversation.
is a perfect.
We put lots of points.
That's what we need.
What's happening there?
And finally seeing it. I've been riding like for 6 years almost.
Yeah, me too.
Since the Plus was my
Yeah.
first board, and finally seeing that.
I'm coming up on 7 years, but the haven't you seen the shift in the way their attitude is towards us? It almost was like in the beginning they were like, ugh, like, no, we don't want to.
I had really good experiences with them at the beginning, actually.
Did you?
Yeah, I was probably the only one from everyone that I was talking. So you remember way back then they shipped their boards with the. Oh, sorry, they shipped the boards with the little cards.
Yep.
So what I used to do is I just wrote my phone number on the cards and I just gave it away in the streets.
My wife did the same thing.
For people
Drove
to
me
just
crazy.
call me and try the boards if they wanted, to give private lessons. And then I contact Future Motion and said, look, I'm doing this to get more people on the boards, but I don't have many more cards. Is it possible to buy some? And they just said like, okay, give me your shipping address. We'll send you a box full of them. And then they just did that. I just paid like
for me,
shipping.
they've always been really awesome. So I've never had a negative experience with Future Motion. I hear about a lot of people that do, and I think a lot of it is because they're negative. They immediately attack Future Motion, or instead of approaching it from a standpoint from a consumer to a product builder, they would say they'd get on the internet and just trash Future Motion. And believe me when I tell you that they have people that are out there. I mean, half of the employees are constantly on these platforms because they're interested too. They're also one-wheel riders. So they do see what's being said, and there's only so much you can take before you're like, hey, screw y'all.
Yeah.
So being kind and nice will get you so many more places. And I was always like that. Very positive with them, and I've seen positivity come back. What I'd like to see more is a little bit more communication between Future Motion and the people that they talk to. I think they need to have an IT department that is strictly there answering questions and giving knowledge and support. And I just don't don't see that because it's like you said, you can email them and you'll never get a response back a lot of times.
You don't know. I'm going to tell like this. I'm a different person. I can. But when I say to everybody, "Oh, I have a nice answer for them," the people say, because you're Nelson, you're from Onewheel. Yeah. Then sometimes I don't say nothing because why? Yeah, Nelson can have a nice answer from email, but me no. And I say sometimes I don't say nothing. I have an answer always from them, but I know that most of the people, 99% of the people, don't have no answer.
Yeah.
And of course, the people come to us and say, "Guys, can you help me?"
Yeah. What can
And
we
then-
do to bring that to a head?
Then we try to contact them in these points. That is something not good, and then is me I don't receive the answer to because
And
it's
now-
a point
and
that they say,
now-
okay, that is
Yeah.
something that we don't have interest to answer you, and that then you
It
say,
seems
"Ooh,"
very one-sided.
you say, "Ooh, that is
We'll
bad."
answer what we want.
Yeah, and that is
That's
not.
convenient for us to answer.
And that is not and sometimes they try to they think, oh, they want money from us. No, we don't want nothing. We don't want of course if they give to the support, but I think if they open the doors and say, okay, we go to your event, we put our stuff there to sell, is something very good already. We don't need them to go and say, "Oh, give you this money for the event." No, but just a present to show to the world the Onewheel is here.
Show you're here for the riders.
Yes.
When they need you.
Yeah.
And people sometimes need repairs.
Yeah. But not just my event. We go to the events from the riders because it's people who has bought the.
Y'all hold this. I'm going to pee.
Yeah, we're going to go. We're going to go. We're going to go. We're going to just finish very fast.
Okay.
So, the important thing is like this. I want to say thank you so much.
Yeah.
First of all for that, but the most important thing, what you did this weekend for all of us. That is fantastic.
Oh my
all the
God,
people
look what
was
you
like,
did for me.
I didn't
I mean,
do
this
nothing.
has been fantastic.
I think for all of us, you made lots of points. You helped lots of people here, and you're going to open lots of doors for new guys who want this.
I hope so.
And I hope to see you more and more. This year, they're going to go to the. You're going to go to America too.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going,
You're going
Andy's
to see
going, and another
lots-
guys from UK is going.
And he's going to see you there and have fun. Thank you so much for coming.
I'm excited about that.
And
Me too.
Let's stop. I think we have close to 3 hours or more.
We're talkers,
Well.
baby. All right, we love you.
Love you.
Thank you so much, guys.
Second
Thank you.
of standing.
Come on, David.
Watch the live stream tomorrow.
Vic,
Float
say
the
it, say it.
Highlands.
You want to say something?
I want to say, because people like him and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Fabio and like every good rider, we become better riders each event we do.
Yeah.
And that's because of you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, my friends.
Let's hit the trails.
Let's go. I'm going to try to go out of this chair.